So, Ragiroth do.
Ragiroth Enterprises.
How's it going, everybody? Rich from Ragiroth Enterprises here. Welcome to my channel. Now, you've possibly already seen my video on top 10 characters I want to return in Soul Calibur VI. Now I'm going to talk about top 10 possible guest characters I would like in the game. Now, Soul Calibur has actually probably the series that really made using guest characters in fighting games popular. Yeah, it's not the first time it happened, but it's what kind of brought it into the, I guess, mainstream, for lack of a better term. Now, I know it, from some of my videos about like Injustice 2 and all that, it might seem like I don't like guest characters. That's not entirely true. I am okay with guest characters. It just depends on how many there are, what the rest of the roster looks like, and who the guest characters are. Now, Soul Calibur has kind of had the guest characters in the base roster. They're kind of out of the way. Now, granted, we've never really had a Soul Calibur with DLC characters, so we don't really know what would have happened if they did have DLC characters. Sounds like Soul Calibur V wasn't going to add any more guest characters if they did do DLC. If you saw my last video, I did mention that I think supposedly there was a rumor saying they would have had, I think, Zoslamel and either it was Talon or Sophidia as DLC. Neither of them are guest characters. Now, and I think, even though I don't think they flat out, I think they've hinted there will be a guest character, at least a guest character in the game. But I really think all of us kind of expected at this point. I think Soul Calibur 2 is probably overall the best game for guest characters in my opinion. I mean, Soul Calibur introduced me to Spawn. Link was great. Heihachi, not so much. Soul Calibur 3 had no guest character, though Dante was actually supposed to be one from Devil May Cry, but they had to cut him due to time constraints, which would have been so cool. 4 had Vader, Yoda, and Starkiller. They're kind of the more mixed bag, just because Star Wars was a very, I guess, polarizing choice, just because it was like future in medieval times. But I know, yes, a galaxy far, far away. And Soul Calibur V was Ezio from Assassin's Creed. It made sense. I've never really been a huge Assassin's Creed person, so that was kind of bleh to me. I mean, he was kind of fun to play as. Oh, that's right, Soul Calibur Broken Destiny on PSP. Had Kratos, meh. And that Wii game, that adventure game, wasn't considered that great. I think it was called like Soul Calibur, like Lost Swords or something. Legends or something. Yeah, Legends. It had Lloyd Irving from Tales of series. I actually found him, he was an actual fighting game. Alright, so let me start my list. A typical top 10 list with some honorable mentions. So here we go. Number 10. Spawn. Yeah, I know. But as you can already tell by now, I really like Spawn. I'd really like him to be in a game again. If we can't have him in Injustice, if we still can't have him in Mortal Kombat, let's just put him back in Soul Calibur, the game, the fighting game he was first in. Like, I mean, his moveset was so cool in that game. Like, yeah, it wasn't really accurate entirely. And, I know, like, not a lot of his powers, but it was still a really fun moveset. And I know he wouldn't come back just because, I mean, I doubt they could get the rights again, and it's like, I don't know if guest characters are really repeated. The only guest character I've really making another game was probably Sonic and Smash Brothers, and that was a very rare exception. But I mean, hey, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to having Spawn back in Soul Calibur. All right, number 9 is William from Neo. Neo is probably one of the coolest and best games that have come out in 2017. It's definitely a game I'd really like to get back to. William was a really cool character. Neo is probably like my favorite, I guess, Souls style game. And I think he would be pretty cool in a fighting game. He would probably be higher on this list. However, I'd be kind of concerned that they would kind of do what they did with him in Warrior All-Stars, and he would just kind of use a katana, which is kind of like Mitsurugi. But I'd like to maybe he'd use a couple more weapons in the moveset. I'd like to say maybe this game would be a little more flexible with that than Warrior All-Stars is. But no, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the game at all. Alright, number 8. Bayonetta from Bayonetta. She would actually be higher on this list. If it wasn't the fact she's already kind of made it in the fighting game. It's called Super Smash Brothers. Oh God, I'm so happy she made one in that. But I would not mind her in another fighting game. And now with, you know, her series getting a third game, you know, she's still relevant. The issue with her is that, well, Smash Bros. Kind of did what they did, what Warrior All-Stars did with William in that game. Like, she really only used her, like, base kind of weapons. I don't know if she'd use a bunch of different weapons in this, and that's what I prefer to see. And the other issue in Bayonetta is I think she's kind of becoming more of a Nintendo character now. Like, an honorary Nintendo character. But I guess as long as she isn't one, she very well could be, you know, lent out to Namco to use in this game. And unfortunately, there isn't going to be a Switch version. At least there's no plans to. So maybe she would have been a shooter to be the guest character in that. But anyway, moving on. Dante from Devil May Cry. Now, I mean, the fact that he was supposed to be in Soul Calibur 3 just kind of makes me want to see him in Soul Calibur. And like, yeah, he's been in fighting games, but most of the fighting games he's been in not exactly had that much content. It would be nice to see him in one with, at least assuming, a little bit more. That would be kind of nice. And I would love this. I guess, well, I would love this and I would hate this if they kind of did what they did with Star Wars and Soul Calibur 4. Like, maybe each version got a guest character, and maybe there was one shared one between all versions. Like, I guess Dante would be the shared guest character, and then the other two versions could get like Nero, and one version could get Virgil. And obviously, like Soul Calibur 4, it would be kind of an early access thing. Like, the one character would be made available to the other console at a slightly later date. I would like to just have all three of them, but I know they probably wouldn't do that. And honestly, I don't know if they're ever going to do that again. I think I think they're probably just going to stick to one guest character and no console exclusives. Like, console exclusives is like a fun thing, but also a crappy thing because you're not getting the complete game. Regardless of the version, you know, with each version, if they do that, at least not right away. But I think it would be cool to have all three of them in, honestly. But I know Dante would obviously be the go-to single choice, and I'd be fine with that. I actually would probably like Virgil more, to be honest, but I know Dante would be kind of. And not that I don't really think there's a style that Dante that has really been captured that Dante has in Soul Calibur already. And Virgil is already kind of like Mitsurugi, Setsuka, Alpha Patroclus that kind of have his style a bit. But okay, number 6. Cosmos from Xenosaga. Now Cosmos was actually sort of in Soul Calibur 3. You could unlock her outfit for creative characters. And I guess you could indirectly make her look like her rival, Telos. But Cosmos is a character I've always really liked. I like Xenosaga. And I would just love to see her in a fighting game. And she's one of the characters I just can't seem to get that wish fulfilled with. And I don't know if they would, because she's not the most relevant character at this point anymore. But, I mean, she is still kind of owned by Namco, and she does still appear here and there. So maybe they would. I don't know. So for number, and in terms of weapons, she can use a bunch of different weapons. Scythes, arm blades, Gatling guns. I know, yeah, she is sci-fi, she's sort of like another Star Wars situation, but I argue she could fit a bit more. Okay, so number 5. Actually, I feel like I should have put this one lower, but whatever. Hunter from Bloodborne. This is probably more so up on the list just because I think it's probably a little more likely for a guest character, at least for the PS4 version. Bloodborne is an awesome game. It's, like I said, Neo is my favorite Souls game, but Bloodborne is still a really cool game. I think the Hunter could be pretty. I mean, I'm not totally in love with the idea of an avatar character, but I still think the default appearance would look really cool. And they could use multiple weapons or the trick weapons. think that'd be really neat, really unique. It'd just be really cool and something different in the game. Yeah, and I think I've seen it requested. I think they could be pretty cool. I think it'd be nice to use the Bloodborne hunter in a game that doesn't totally kick my ass. Alright, so getting up on the list. Number 4. Date Masamune from Sengoku Basara. Maybe a little bit of an obscure choice. Funnily enough, he's actually made my top 10 newcomers list for characters I want Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Date is a really cool character with a really sick weapon style. He uses 6 katanas at once with lightning abilities. He's just nuts to have in this game. I just love to have him in a fighting game. Okay, technically he has been in a fighting game. There was a Sengoku Basara game, came out on PS2, but it was Japan only, and it was okay. I think he'd be cooler to see him in Soul Calibur. I think he would just be really fun. He would fit. I mean, yeah, there's a bit of zaniness in Sengoku Basara, but it's still, remotely within the time period. Just say him being in the game would definitely make me put my guns on. So number 3, where is number? Cheating one, but Noctis from Final Fantasy 15. Yes, I know he's already in Tekken 7, or he's going to be in Tekken 7. I know. But I really like Noctis, Sumi, and secondly, well, I'm really happy he's going to be in that. If you haven't already told from my reaction video, now that seeing Soul Calibur 6 is going to be a thing, I sort of do wish he was just kind of safe for this. I'm kind of hoping maybe, they just said they just got a deal with Square Enix that would use him in Tekken 7 and Soul Calibur. Maybe he would be the guest character for every version, while there'd be another guest character for, that'd be console exclusive. However, one remedy for this would be to have Noctis, or maybe instead, I would personally really like Sephiroth. Yeah, I know Cloud is probably the go-to one, but I feel like we got a lot of Cloud already, and don't get me wrong, Cloud's my boy, but there's just other characters I like more. I think Sephiroth would be more unique. I also just like Sephiroth more than Cloud, if it's not already apparent by my Final Fantasy video intros. I think he'd be really neat in this guy. I think it'd be interesting to see a character with a very long weapon that isn't a super thick sword, more of a thinner sword like a katana. I think he could have some crazy moves like Meteor and Shadow Flare and all that. But it has to be a hero from a more relevant game, from a more current game that it hasn't already been in the Namco fighting game. I'd also maybe say Lightning would be cool. Now, 13 is not my favorite game. I like it. I think it gets a little more hate than it deserves. And Lightning is not my favorite character, but she is still a pretty major character for Square Enix, and I think it is a shame she hasn't really got to be in a fighting game outside of Dissidia. And I was actually kind of rooting for her to be in Soul Calibur V, but that didn't happen, so maybe if we can't get Noctis and we can't get Sephiroth, I would totally settle for Lightning. That'd be pretty cool with me. Alright, so number 2. This is my first non-video game guest. Oh, no, actually, I lied. Spawn isn't really a video game character. Guts from Berserk. Berserk is actually something I've only more recently got into. I know it's been around for a while. I just didn't get into it until more recently. And it's become one of my favorite anime or / mangas ever, honestly. And I think Guts would be so sick. And Guts is one of my favorite, probably main characters in an anime or manga now, since I got into it. And fun fact, Guts actually inspired me to have my hair like this. And he's a little more relevant now, a little bit more, because of the Dynasty Warriors game and anime. I know, yeah, it's not the most well-received anime ever, but still. And one of the other main issues with him is the fact where you kind of have 2 characters that have a weapon style similar to him, Nightmare and Siegfried. However, for those that remember, Link was a guest character. He uses a sword and shield. There's 2 other characters, actually 3 other characters in Soul Calibur 2 that use a sword and shield, and Link played nothing like them. I think that Guts would be kind of the link to Siegfried and Nightmare's Sophia and Cassandra. And I think one thing that could set him apart is he could use some like other weapons like the repeating crossbow, like the arm cannon. He could use his arm a bit. I guess Nightmare also does that. Oh, so he can reenact that death battle. There we go. He could utilize the Berserk mode. I think there's ways to make him different, at least somewhat different. That's just my opinion. I would love to see him in a game. I think he'd be perfect in Soul Calibur. He's just another character I'd really like to see in a fighting game. And I know this would be even less likely than the Devil May Cry situation, but that would be kind of cool if Guts would be the universal guest character. We had two other characters from Berserk in the other two versions. One would be like Griffith/Femto, and the other one could be like Skull Knight. I mean, that would be like amazing in my eyes, but I knew that would like never happen. Or even Zod, but he'd probably be too big. So anyway, before I move on to my number one pick, here are some honorable mentions. I only got two honorable mentions for this. Alucard from Castlevania series, and Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. So my number one pick is, drum roll please, 2B from Nier Automata. Just like Nier Automata is one of the best games that has come out this year. I actually think I might like it even more. It's one of my favorite games that came out this year, and it's also one of my number one games I have to get back to. 2B is just a really cool character too. He's another character that I would just love to see in a fighting game. I think in terms of how she could fight, I guess ideally I would like her to utilize other weapons. However, I think unlike William, she could maybe get away with using a katana only, just because of her other possible attacks she can do with the little drone. I forget what it was called. Sorry. And just the way she uses the katana is, I think, different, which would set her apart. But ideally, I would like to use other weapons. And while it would be cool to have 9S and the other playable female, I forget her name. I'm sorry. I don't think wouldn't be as necessary as like the Guts or the Berserk or Devil May Cry situation. I think she would be fine. Actually, that'd be kind of cool if it was her and Noctis, in my opinion, because they have some crossover there. But that's there's some guest characters I would really like. All of them I think would be fine. And predicting how likely they are is very hard because guest characters are a much more unpredictable thing that there's really no precedent for. I mean, we get rumors and stuff, but that's about it. I don't really think any of us saw, Geese Howard was somewhat predictable because Harada has mentioned he would like to have Geese Howard be a guest character in Tekken 7. But Akuma came out of nowhere, sort of, and Noctis definitely came out of nowhere. So, I can't really rank how likely they are, in all honesty. Some are, like Spawn, I know that's not happening, but some, like 2B, I don't know, it could go either way. But one thing is, I feel like, since after Soul Calibur 2, they've really only gone with Western characters to have as guest characters. At the risk of sounding like a weeaboo, I would really like to see more Eastern-made characters. Like, if you can tell, most of the characters on this list are Eastern-made, I think with the exception of Spawn. I guess Bloodborne Hunter is Eastern-made. Yeah, with the exception of Spawn, all of them are Eastern-made characters. I think they were just fit in Soul Calibur anyway, because it is an Eastern-made game. And I said this is a huge Star Wars fan, too. Oh, you know what? Here's an honorable mention. Kylo Ren. I'd love to have him in a fighting game. And I think he would arguably fit a bit more in Soul Calibur just because he has a more medieval knight motif to him. Sorry, I just had to get that out. But yeah, I hope any of them are the guest character. It would definitely kind of put a positive spin on the roster if it turns out to not be so great. If I get a really cool guest character. So I think that's it. I will link Marketing Arts channel and his video on Soul Calibur VI as well. Let me know what you think. Do you agree with either of these lists that I've done for Soul Calibur VI? Or are you looking forward to the game? But as I always say, another time, another place. Keep being awesome, and a legend will never die.